So now we move from weaponized migration to how it's supposed to work. In these United States, there needs to be one unique American culture. Multi-ethnic, yes, people from all over the world coming together in the melting pot to become part of the uniquely American culture. That's how this country was designed. So our next speaker is a candidate against Tammy Baldwin, who personifies the way it's supposed to be done. An American citizen, immigrant, born elsewhere, went through all the channels to get here, spent years working on becoming eligible to run for office, and she's doing that now against Senator Tammy Baldwin. Rejani, Raveendran.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me in the back? Thank you. So, I have to tell you, you all sounds funny. And now you are going to hear how a normal person sound like, okay? I was in Winnebago County last week. I walked into the Lincoln Day Dinner, and a gentleman at my table did not know I was a speaker. So he said, "You're supposed not to be here. You are a Democrat. You're supposed not to be here." I won't blame him. Traditionally, I'm supposed to be a Democrat, right? Look at me, right? But I happen to be a conservative Republican. And I'm glad. At the end of my speech, the same gentleman came to me and said, "We will be praying for you every day." And another man came to me and said, "While you were speaking, I realized you need a new name." And I was wondering, what is it now? So he said, "The new name will fit you better than your own name." And I asked, "What is it, sir?" He said, "Your name is Rocky." Do you remember that Rocky Balboa? Getting hit over and over and over again, bleeding yet won't give up. So, how many of you like to hear a joke? Funny stuff. Okay. Let us start with that so you can get used to my accent. And then I will get into my stance, what I am standing for and what I will do for you. So here you go. A Christian couple, they are having an argument in the morning. Who will brew the coffee in the morning? Okay, that is all about the argument. So the wife said to husband, "You're supposed to brew the coffee." And he said, "No, you are a woman, you're supposed to brew the coffee." Then the wife said, "No, Bible says you're supposed to brew the coffee. A man's supposed to brew the coffee." So he said, "Okay, show me in the Bible." She went and took her Bible and showed him Hebrews. So, gentlemen, you remember, we know our Bible, okay? So, Who am I and why am I here? If you do not understand my accent, let me know. Just lift up your hand and I will stop and I'll go slow. Sounds good? Okay. I am not a politician. I am not a businesswoman. I have never held a political office before. I'm a single mom, a mother of 3. I am a registered nurse, a midwife, and a student. I am majoring in political science and international relations from UW Stevens Point. Also, I chair the UW Stevens Point College Republican Club, and I sit in the executive board of Portage County Republican Party. I am a legal immigrant. I am an American citizen. I am a patriot. And I am a MAGA Republican. How can I not be MAGA? I did not say I'm a Trump Republican. I said I'm a MAGA Republican. What is MAGA stands for? Make America Great Again. Who would not want to make America great again? Only an American. So that is the reason I am a MAGA Republican. I immigrated here in 2011. I became a United States citizen in 2015. I casted my first vote to President Donald John Trump in 2016. And I never regretted it. So why am I here? Because I am running to be your next United States Senate. So people ask me, why am I running? Why me? First one, because I am not a politician. Second, I am running for my children and your children and for your grandchildren. Brothers and sisters, I am here because I have a vision for our country. I have a vision where our children can go to school without questioning what gender they were born in. I have a vision that we may have a strong southern border and northern border. I have a vision that we should reclaim our national security and national sovereignty. I have a vision to end illegal immigration, child sex trafficking, and illegal drugs pouring into our country, infiltrating the lives of our children, our new generation. I have a vision to reduce deficit. I have a vision that we should be energy independent. I have a vision that we should use our taxpayer dollars for our country, for our people. I have a vision that we should not fund any overseas war anymore, period. I have a vision that we should have fair and clean election. What does that mean? One day voting, paper ballot. And if you do not have a government-issued ID, you are not voting. And I am happy to have the election day be the national holiday so we all can get out and vote. I have a vision for term limit. Why? Because enemies of America like Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib, these people we cannot get rid of if we don't have a term limit. Corrupted politicians getting into the power, staying as placeholders, doing nothing. Do you know? A while ago, Congressman Tiffany was talking about certain stuff. I remember we had the House, we had the Senate, we had the presidency, yet we do not have a border wall. Why? Thanks be to Uniparty Paul Ryan. That is the reason. That is the reason. People, those who are Republican in name only. See, our country is built on Judeo-Christian values. Agree with that? Republican Party stood for Judeo-Christian values and morals. But now, where we are standing, that's the question. Like I said, I am not a politician to speak everything to gain your vote on the podium. I'm a mom. I care about my children. I care about this nation. I am running for this position because I was born and brought up in a broken nation. I know the consequences of being born and brought up in a broken nation. I know what is hungry means. I was having a hunger pain. That's all I knew as a child when I was growing up. Some of you may have heard me before, but if you didn't hear me, let me tell you where I came from. I was born and brought up in India, southern India, in a very poor family. Poor means we did not have food to eat. I went to school every single day without breakfast. I went to the whole week to school with the same pair of clothes. I walked miles and miles without shoes. Some of days I was not able to eat anything. Can you understand as a 7-year-old fainting because of hunger? Because she did not have anything to eat the whole day? And when I was 7 years old, my parents realized that they cannot feed 3 children. So I was sent away to my aunt's family dairy farm. Few years of my childhood there, gathering the feed for the cows, doing the chores, distributing milk in the town. I was raised without electricity and running water. I never celebrated my birthday as a child. I didn't even know when I was born. I never had a toy to play with. I have no clue how it is for a child to play with a toy. This is what a broken nation can offer you. I never had a bed to sleep on. I slept on a concrete floor on a mat without pillow and bedsheet. That was my bed. You will think that we are so far away from being a broken nation. No, we are not. We are not. We are in $35 trillion national debt. That means my children and your grandchildren and great-grandchildren will end up paying $400,000 each of them to pay our national debt. Are they stopping still? No. $1.2 trillion bill again they introduced and passed. 400,000 of that bill, where it is going? To sexually mutilate and manipulate our children. That's what it is. What are we doing here? We do not have money, but we have money to send to Ukraine, Iran, all those countries. Think what chaos we are creating in the other side of the world with our taxpayer dollars. We need to end this. We need to end the deficit. I have a plan. Shut down, shake down unwanted federal agencies like Department of Education, for example. Become energy independent. Open all the oil wells in the United States of America. pay off our national debt, use our own oil for our own people, cut down the regulations, bring the manufacturing job back to America. Our people will have job, they will take care of their health care and their families. Shut the border. When I get elected, I will introduce a bill to get funding for a border wall. And while that border wall is built, we are going to dispatch our National Guard to our southern and northern border to make sure none of the illegal aliens get into our country. What are we going to do with the illegal aliens? 12 million here already. Deport them from where they came from. They do not belong here. I do understand we are a country of immigrants, but do not forget, we are a country of law and order as well. If we forget the idea of citizenship, we won't have a country anymore. So we have to stop this. That is the reason I want to enable ICE to go to every corner of our nation and bring the illegals out and deport them from there where they came. There is a legal path to come to this country, and that is the only path to come to this nation. I stands for term limit. I stands to ban insider trading for all members of Congress. Why? You all know about the COVID disaster, right? COVID-19 vaccination crippled so many people in our country. It damaged the people and killed the people more than it cured the people. I personally know several of my friends went through shingles, heart defect, cell damage, you name it. Why did this happen? Members of Congress will pass a law and they will go and invest in big pharmacy like Pfizer and becomes rich overnight at our expense. That is the reason I want to ban insider trading for all members of Congress. Where there is less incentive, less corruption. If you want to hold a public office, you need to sacrifice your personal interest. And if you want to have your personal interest, we have somebody else here to run for the public office. That's it. So I am running here. I am standing. I am not an anointed one. I am not the party's pick. I am an outsider, a complete outsider. I struggle like you struggle to pay the mortgage every month. I struggle like some of you struggle with the school fees of my children. I struggle to put food in their plate and to put shoes on their foot. I do struggle. I know what is your struggle. You are me and I am you. I might look different, but here we are the same. What unites us is the love of our nation. I am a domestic violence survivor. When I entered into a marriage in the United States, it ended up becoming a 10-year-old domestic violence marriage. At the end of it, I and my 3 children, we ended up in Family Crisis Center in Stevens Point. I picked up my life from there. While I was living there, I went to work in a restaurant as a janitor, dishwasher, waitress, cashier. I scrubbed the toilet to feed my children. From there, I moved into a public housing, lived there a couple of years, and raised my children. During that time, I enrolled myself into UW Stevens Point to major in political science and international relations. From the public housing, I bought my own home. Now I am a homeowner raising my children. I am not born and raised as a Christian. I was born and raised as a Hindu in a conservative Hindu family in southern India. When I came to know Christ in my life, and I knew that I was a sinner who needed a savior, I went and took a secret baptism. Hid it from my family for 3 months. After that, I felt God is leading me to confess my faith. I was afraid. I knew what would be the outcome, but decided to obey God. Went and confessed my faith to my family. As a result, I became homeless. But God who called me is faithful. I am standing here well. I can never tell my story without mentioning of Jesus Christ. I am the living testimony of Christ Jesus. So when I get elected, if I bend my knee to anybody, that will be Jesus Christ himself. That's it. As I stated, I am not the party speak. I am not an insider. I'm an outsider, a complete outsider. This is a grassroots movement. And we fund our campaign from the donations people like you give. Every $5, $10, $100, some people send $500 checks. That is what we are using. You have a business card on your table. Behind that, all my stands are written. You can see that. Also, there is an envelope. Anything and everything you can chip in. That would be a great help for this campaign. Remember, I am a We the People candidate. And I get funding from We the People. Not from any special interest. Not from any big donors. Not from any super PAC. I am entitled to you only after God. So if you decided to vote for me, if you elect me, make sure that the job is done. And I will be accountable each and every single day I am sitting on that seat to you, We the People. So thank you so much for having me here. Please go to my website if you want to know more about me. Also, I have a Facebook page. Go and like the Facebook page and share the Facebook page. And we always update new information there.